Imagine this. You're returning to a place where you've already been hurt. You know how it will all end. You feel anxiety, fear, an inner chill. But you go anyway. You think you're looking for love, recognition, understanding. But in reality, you're looking for the familiar. The brain doesn't strive for happiness. It strives for predictability. Even if it destroys you. You don't consciously choose pain. You choose something that reminds you of home. Even if that home is a place where you once felt a lack of warmth. This habit is deeper than logic. It's ingrained in the body, in the nervous system, in every automatic movement. Insight number 1. The safety of pain. The brain is designed to perceive any familiar sensation as safe. If in childhood, love meant anxiety, dependency, coldness, that's what will become your default. You call it passion, but in reality, it's just repetition. Psychology calls this an attachment pattern. You're not looking for love, you're looking for a familiar sense of survival. That's why when someone treats you calmly, without chaos, you don't feel drawn to them. You feel empty. Because your brain doesn't know what to do with peace. It seeks excitement, drama, emotional roller coasters. Peace seems boring because it's unfamiliar. Insight 2. The emotional loop. Every time you return to pain, you activate the same neural connections that have been forming for years. The brain receives dopamine, not from happiness, but from the anticipation of suffering. You're hooked not on the pain, but on the process, tension, hope, disappointment. This isn't masochism. It's biology. Have you noticed how often people choose the same partners, just in different bodies? The same scenario, cold anxiety trying to earn pain. It's not fate. It's a habit of the nervous system. The brain repeats what it already knows so as not to waste energy on the unknown. Insight 3. The illusion of control. You return to familiar pain because you subconsciously want to rewrite its ending. You think, if I do everything right, this time it will be different. But it's a trap. You're not healing an old wound, you're just reopening it. We call it a second chance. But more often, it's simply an attempt to prove to yourself that you're worthy of the love you didn't receive before. You're not going to a person, you're going to your unfinished story. Insight number 4. The survival brain. Everything you call drive is a choice for safety. Not emotional, but neural. Pain is predictable, therefore controllable. But happiness requires surrender. And that's what's most frightening. So you fall into the same scenario over and over again, until you realize, this isn't love. It's an addiction to a familiar level of pain. But awareness is already the beginning of freedom, because now you can see pain not as punishment, but as a signal. A signal that it's time to rewire your internal settings. Psychology calls this neuroplasticity. When you begin to consciously choose something new, even if it seems less exciting, your brain gradually rewires itself. You stop reacting. You begin choosing. Insight 5. The power of mindfulness. Mindfulness isn't calm. It's clarity. You see the pain, but you don't merge with it. You feel anxiety, but you don't accept it as truth. And it's at this moment that adult love begins, for yourself, not for the illusion of salvation. Look at it differently. You don't choose pain, you simply repeat the code. And if you can recognize this, then you are already capable of rewriting it. Every time you choose silence over drama, understanding over blame, patience over panic, you rewrite your story. It's not fast. And it's not easy, because your brain will resist. It will whisper, it's boring here, go back to the pain, but you already know that's a lie. Learning to be at peace is a new kind of strength. Not external, not theatrical, but internal, deep, quiet. It's a strength that's not visible, but felt. And at some point you will understand. You no longer need to return to old stories, to prove that you are worthy of love. Because now you yourself are the source of the warmth you've always sought. And then pain ceases to be your choice. It becomes your teacher. And from that moment, true freedom begins. Not running away from pain, but consciously moving through it. You're no longer afraid to feel. And you don't cling to those who make you suffer. Because you've realized, love and pain are not the same. You no longer seek drama. You choose depth. And this is a new chapter in your life. Because in the end, we don't seek love. We seek ourselves in others. Until we realize that we need to search within. And when you finally stop choosing pain, you begin to feel truly for the first time. Not out of fear of loss, but out of a desire to be. Because that is freedom. You can't run away from pain. And learn to be yourself, even in it. Everything else is just noise. And if you're listening to these words now, it means a part of you is already ready to choose not pain, but life. Remember, what was your habit doesn't have to become your destiny. You can feel. You can be. Without fear. Without drama. Without pain. Because you finally realized. You choose what you feel. And that is true strength.